Welcome to the GainzCast. I'm Marc Lobliner alongside
Matt Marano.
So this is an extra special Friday edition. Well, I don't know when the hell you're listening to it, but it's Friday. We wanted to address some things. There's some good topics going on. There's a lot going on in the world right now, man. What's going on with you, Matt?
My body's sore. My legs hurt right now, man. We killed it this morning.
Yeah, that was a good leg workout. So we train at Carbon Culture, which is our local gym here in Franklin, Tennessee. And I got to tell you what, I normally try to keep the podcast away from just marketing and promotion. But I'll tell you what, since we came out with Sniper, stacking that with Vasky, and the Carb 10 intro workout, my workouts have just been amazing. I still have my machine fuel during training, but it's been, again, Sniper was an accident. We came out with it because we were just trying to show how supplements were made. And we ended up coming out with a really dope pre-workout.
And the flavors are fantastic. You can't beat the taste on those pre-workouts, man.
You just can't. So it's been a hell of a run with that. It's been a hell of a time, and we're happy to have it. But we've been squatting every day. I've been squatting every day. Matt's getting up to that level of squatting most days. And we also got that new awesome track bar that we're going to be using.
So excited for that.
We did that, the Prime bar. It's a Prime trap bar. That's the company that makes it. And I got 703 at the warehouse. I liked it so much. I asked my business partner, Chad, okay, where did we buy that? Because I'm buying that for the home gym. And it's here, and it's ready. And they said 4 to 6 week lead time.
2 days.
I'm going to link it down below. We don't have an affiliate program or anything, but it's a bar that I fell in love with. And I have it in my home gym and in the gym we own in Loveland, Ohio. And we have that other bar. It's a different brand, similar technology at Iron Addicts in California, but that's that. So let's get into what's going on in the world. And I want to cover a couple topics. I want to cover a couple things going on. Obviously, Super Tuesday is next week.
Yeah.
So everybody's going batshit crazy about elections. And I actually think it's a little more chill, other than Hunter's laptop, which is a big deal.
A lot of things are more chill than Hunter's laptop.
Hunter's laptop. Yeah, I never knew a foot job. Who'd have thought foot jobs? A foot job is basically a hand job with the arches of your feet, which I think is more work than it's worth. But I have people who, Muscle Sport Magazine, my buddy over there, he was telling me it's a great thing. I've never had a foot job, for the record.
I can also confirm I've never had a foot job.
I mean, yeah, so I don't know if that's a thing that I would like. There are a couple,
don't want athlete's foot on my dick.
Athlete's dick.
Jock itch and athlete's foot, same fungus.
Is that like Hulkzilla's Kurt's dick? He's got the athlete's dick.
Big dick gate.
Just big dick gate, yeah. I think normally for sexual things, if it sounds like something I'd like, I normally like it. If it sounds like something I don't like, my wife won't let me do it anyway. So, it's pretty much I'm stuck in a situation where even if I wanted to get exploratory in a sexual way, that'd be pretty much kibosh. Our idea of kink in my household is hooking a leg during missionary. That's my idea. I'm like, holy shit, I hooked the right leg. If you hook both legs, that's when shit's just too far. Then it becomes then it almost becomes like a modified wheelbarrow. So Hunter Biden, let's just be honest, he's not a good dude. And I feel bad for Joe because I really think that he wants to be a good dad. I don't think there's this conspiracy of him trying to make his son embezzle funds. I think his son just independently became a douchebag. And whether that's because Joe was a bad dad or because maybe his family was in the limelight in politics and his dad was against ending segregation, but then he's the anti-racist president. I'm so confused right now. I don't know why he turned out the way he did, but I don't think the one thing we've learned from this is Joe Biden really had a shitty kid.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because I don't want to have to judge an election. I wouldn't want to have to vote based on if Don Jr. was a dick or if Tiffany or Ivanka or I don't even know what the hell the names of shows. How many fucking kids does Trump have? 7?
There are a lot.
It seems like I didn't what's a Tiffany? Where'd that come from? I didn't even know she existed. And then pop, there she is, Tiffany. And she's hot. Have you seen Tiffany Trump?
I haven't, but if she looks anything like Ivanka, I'll
she's hot.
Okay.
She's hot. So that's another thing. I'd hate to go on tangents, but conservative women are ridiculously hot. The conservative base of women are just fucking hot. It started with Megyn Kelly and it's gone just complete avalanche effect of just hot fucking conservative women since Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly's like a crush. You know, she's a lawyer. She's super smart. She makes the short haircut look hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just, Joe Rogan did a skit on her. It was funny.
Oh, yeah, part of his comedy special.
Yeah, it was so funny. She uncrossed her legs where you just get a little glimpse of it. But, you know, I think the one thing that I've noticed this election, and you had when Mitt Romney was running against Obama, you had Jay-Z get up and sing, I have 99 problems, but a Mitt ain't one, which I thought was funny. Of course, the right's like, oh my God, he said it. That's who you. I'm like, yeah, I think that's fucking awesome. Good job, Obama. You know, that's when I'm like, yeah, Obama's kind of fucking cool, right? So for years, we've seen endorsements come to the Democrat Party, whether it was a racist like Joe Biden or whether it was, you know, Hillary, who's a murderer. I mean, she kind of is. You know, so you see these endorsements come from the rappers and the actors and everything. You get your occasional Chuck Norris for Trump, you know.
That's kind of expected, though.
Yeah, I mean,
you look at Chuck Norris, you go, okay.
Probably Republican. I mean, the Texas Ranger thing, the fucking cowboy boots, like that's a Republican if I've ever seen one. But
not that we stereotype you.
Since when do you have like Candace Owens as Blexit, which is, I mean, they're a bit too extreme for me. I'm not going to lie. I like Candace Owens. I think that she goes a little too anti-black. Like every time like George Floyd, oh, he was on fentanyl. And it's like,
he still shouldn't have died.
Yeah. And she's like, so instead of embracing like some of the qualities of black people, she'll be like, see, this is what's wrong with black people. And I'm like, I get what she's doing, but maybe it's because of my perspective as being a white male who grew up in a predominantly black community. I don't think that's how I would talk to the community, and it's her community, not mine. But then again, I grew up in the community, so do I have as much claim to the community? It's my fucking community too, right? Like America's my community. I don't know how to talk to any community. I know how to talk to people. And at the end of the day, if you shit on people for things they do every time they fuck up, that's probably not going to be a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have Lil Wayne
coming out,
Tunchi,
supporting,
you know,
Trump
coming out. And you kind of expected that. He did an interview back in the day about how he doesn't see racism because his life was saved by a white police officer named, I believe, Carl. And I remember the first time I watched that video, it actually got me a little teary-eyed because he's like, I don't know race. All I know is that cop. He's like, there were black cops there that were like, just let him go. And this guy would not. So it comes down to experience. And that's why police officers, I'd hate to go on this tangent, need to be extremely cognizant of every interaction they have with the community, because that could be the interaction that leads to that person's perception of your profession.
Something that's just another day in the life for you, especially when you're on that kind of job, could be make or break for someone else.
I had, when I was a child, when I was a teenager, I did some stupid shit. And I remember that my friends and I we weren't technically committing a crime at the time, but we were probably about to. And, I remember, you know, a cop sat us down on the curb and, you know, we're being polite and respectful because we didn't want to get arrested or shot. It was just, back in the day, people used to actually fear cops shooting you. Now it's like we charge them with a knife and then people are mad that you got shot. Like, I don't care what color you are. You charge a cop with a knife. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight, period. And so when I was a kid,
how about just not charging cops with any weapon?
How about just complying? And if they do something wrong, I guarantee you will get a settlement from the city later on. Just bite your tongue and move on. And you know, it's one of those things where, so we're sitting down and this cop went on, and this isn't what changed me. It took a football coach to change me. And that's another story for another day. And he's like, guys, you're better than this. You know, you know you're not going to do good at 1 a.m. in Inglewood on the streets. Go home, play some video games, stay out of trouble. And that was the interaction I had. I'm like, you know, that guy, at first I'm like, fuck you, pig, you know? But then I thought about it and I'm like, you know, that guy probably doesn't want me to resort to a life of crime. You know, he probably doesn't want that.
I don't think anyone's going around being like, wow, I hope that guy commits a crime today.
No, I think most cops get into it for good. There's bad apples. There's people who get corrupted by power. We could point to Maxine Waters and Pelosi and McConnell and all these douchebag fossils in government and Biden. But at the end of the day, most police officers, and I'm not going to give you a percentage because I don't have that data. Most police officers that I've encountered, they just want to do their job and go home and do good in the community. And there are some bad run-ins, but generally speaking, look, I've been pulled over. I've had cops explore every part of my car. I've been searched, and I've always complied. And I'm not saying you should comply to an illegal search. What I'm saying is that if you show respect, you're going to get respect back. Yes, sir. No, sir. I ain't talking to a pig like that. Look, here's the deal. It's better to suck it up and live to fight another day. And our justice system is just. There are plenty of settlements that go through for cops having inappropriate conduct. Live to fight another day. There is a lawyer that will take up your case on contingency if there is wrong, and just roll with it. So what I'm saying is Lil Wayne's, his experience is much like mine. And it's one where he had that experience that put his mindset on what cops should be, on what cops are. One white cop named Carl. And that not only skewed his perception positively toward cops, but it also set his perception of white people. So that goes to everybody. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to anybody, whether they're white, black, Latino, whatever they are. Don't be a dick, because you're not just causing problems between you and that person you're being a dick to. You could completely skew the thought process of that person towards your entire people who look like you.
Yeah. Let's get back to him endorsing Trump, though.
Yeah.
And celebrities' endorsements in this election.
Yeah.
Stats came out. They polled a good group of people. And I mean, say what you will about polls. This is just more of an opinion. It's not like Biden versus Trump, it's who you're voting for. It's given this celebrity's endorsement, basically, do you give a fuck? And only 12% of the people that were polled said, yeah, if if a celebrity that I liked was endorsing this candidate, I would vote for that candidate.
Yeah.
Which shows me 88% of the people don't give a fuck.
My question would be, are those 12% undecided independents?
Right.
Because there's 40-40. 40% are voting Republican no matter what happens. 40% are voting Democrat.
And it goes down in that other 20%.
And then the 20%, even less, it's probably 95-95, right? It's probably 45-45. You got 10% to fuck with.
Yeah.
So that 12%, that's the swing.
Yeah.
So that's why they say if Trump wins the black vote, it's over. There's no fucking chance. And the black population isn't that huge, but the white population's pretty split down the middle.
Yeah.
So you're fighting over that black population, the Latino population, and that's where it gets, that's where it becomes, unfortunately, our motto at Tiger Fitness, you're more than just a number. In politics, you're just a number. You're a demographic, you're a color, you're a race, you're a number, you're a vote.
You're a statistic.
They don't give a fuck about your issues. They care about what issues they support that will get your vote. That's where politics have become fucked up, is they're not politicking for what's right and wrong. They're politicking for votes. They're politicking for the reelection. And that's where it gets scary, because you are just a number to politics. Now, with Lil Wayne, you're looking at Trump made this shit cool. Like Trump, who would have thought that a hip hop artist would support?
I mean, he's not the first one. We had 50 Cent, last week?
Well, 50 Cent backtracked it because his old girlfriend
because Chelsea said,
told him that he's not black anymore, I guess.
And Chelsea Handler said she'd basically fuck him if.
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit.
She seems kind of old and washed up and used now.
Yeah, had a vagina. It's probably messed up. It's probably like roast beef, just just flapping in the wind. But look, I'm excited to see that we're actually seeing, and what's really not exciting, that's a horrible word for this. What's really alarming is how hateful the left is. As soon as Lil Wayne comes out as, hey, you know what? I think Trump's the right guy. You're you're an Uncle Tom. You're this, you're that. We talked about this with Kurt yesterday. It's ridiculous. That is the most racist thing ever. Like, for someone to have a different opinion, you immediately call them a racial slur. And you're seeing that from the left. You don't see the right. And I'm not right or left. I'm independent. But you don't, and this is why I could call it like it is, you don't see the right doing that. You just don't. You don't see conservatives on the right, or black people on the right, or anybody on the right going like, you're voting for Biden. You like touching little kids. That's not good. That's not good.
That's really bad.
Yeah. So I really think that we need to stop this class and race-based kind of tribalism going on here, and just understand that why Lil Wayne's doing this. Trump is the first president to really, and then you got people like, he don't represent my community. I got this today on Twitter. It's like, well, who does? Like, tell us. Well, the Black Caucus. You're telling me people who've been in politics for 40 years.
So
like
the old
Maxine
white
Waters.
man that...
No, the Black Caucus is black.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, Maxine Waters is black. But you can't tell me that bitch ain't crooked. Like, are you telling me that Maxine Waters represents the black community more than a man who got famous for singing a song that was called "Fuck the Police"? That's absurd. That's asinine. That is absolutely asinine. What I'm saying is, you're who you vote for does not make who you are. You know, I love a lot of people who are voting for Biden. I have a lot of friends who are voting for Biden. I don't understand it, but they don't understand why I vote for Trump, and that's what makes this country great. We can all disagree, and we can all go get beers afterwards or lift weights afterwards. It's not a problem. The problem is where we get tribalism, and we get the whole, like, Don Lemon did a piece. I just saw it on Twitter this morning where he's like, yeah, I had to unfriend a lot of people in real life because they were voting for Trump, and they just didn't get it. They're not for you to think that your well thought out opinion is better than their well thought out opinion. You're an elitist jerk. And Don Lemon is an elitist piece of shit who needs to be fucking backhanded. I mean, what a jerky thing to say. You don't see me going like, well, my friends who voted for Biden. No, if someone's not my friend anymore, it's because they probably did me wrong, or maybe we just don't have time to hang out anymore. It's not because they cast a vote for Biden.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous thing, but the left gets off on saying that. Jim Acosta, Don Lemon, that fucking little bitch Cuomo. Like, fuck that guy. So, I mean, they get off on saying, and people get away with it. Well, I'm not going to have any Republican friends. That's like saying I'm not going to have any black friends. I'm not going to. That makes you a racist, right? So what does it make you when you segregate 50% of the American public?
Right. I mean, they're doing what they claim conservatives are doing, just they're taking the race out of it. They're specifying that a certain group of people should be hated
because
of who they vote for, what they believe this country should be, or just their political views. And
what if my main driver was baby killing, or AKA abortion, and I don't care about anything else, but I'm all for Black Lives Matter, and I'm all for different. I like socialism. I like social medicine. Let's say that I'm saying that's me, but I gotta vote Republican because my main issue is I don't like abortion. So that automatically puts me as a racist. So I'm voting for Trump not me. Hypothetically. Let's say
Marc.
I'm voting for Trump because abortion means so much to me, because like my wife, I had 2 miscarriages, and it's not a fetus, and I don't believe that we should be legalizing baby killing. So why does that one opinion that skewed me to vote for Trump make me a racist, make me a misogynist, make me all these bad things when I'm voting based on an issue that's near and dear to my heart? There's so many issues to vote on. And the fact that you're eliminating someone because of their vote is just, it upsets me because it's un-American, and it's being promoted by people with a voice. Again, like Don Lemon. Don Lemon is a bitch. And this is a guy who literally is under investigation for rubbing his hand on his genitals and putting it under someone's nose.
That's weird.
He's a weird dude.
That's just,
all these politicians and these these celebrities, they're all fucking weird. Like foot jobs. That's a thing. But that's
you know
really,
what else is weird?
What's weird?
I mean, I was just going to segue into the...
I think it's time. So I think Matt has it.
You know what else is weird? The fucking carnivore diet.
The carnivore diet. I've done so many videos on this. So I actually tried the carnivore diet, and I thought it was all right with me. I had trouble getting a pump in the gym, even with plenty of salt, and I was shitting water because there's no fiber.
And now we see the long-term effects of it.
So we're seeing the study unfold before our eyes about the carnivore diet. And I didn't want to bring it up because I've actually grown to like the people behind the carnivore diet. You know, your Dr. Sean Bakers and that other I think he's a nutritionist or a doctor. He's got a really Italian name. I'm going to be called out for being disrespectful, but I had his name and I can't remember it. And so I like the fact that the carnivore diet called out veganism for its inefficiencies and its militant nature. I like that. I think that was needed. I think that was necessary.
Yeah.
However, I also believe that you are going to have nutrient deficiencies in the carnivore diet. You are going to have, for most, well, look at me, I've been on it for 40 years. Okay, you're an outlier. Most people can't go their entire life without eating a slice of bread, okay, or without eating a piece of fruit, nor should they. It's an exclusionary diet. And also carbohydrate. You're not getting carbohydrate. Now, for most people, I'll argue that doesn't matter. However, for a great amount of people who like performing at their best, carbohydrate or lack of carbohydrate has been shown to decrease your performance, to decrease your output. That is, again, it's been demonstrated pretty significantly in the data. Okay, I'm looking, and I sent this to Matt the other day. I'm looking through Instagram, and I follow a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the guy who literally popularized the carnivore diet. And the guy is a world record rower. I mean, he is a beast. He's in his 50s, no steroids, no nothing. And he was stacked. Arms were popping, chest was thick, broad shoulders, rowing like whatever you do good in rowing. He did it better than anybody. Lifting logs, throwing things. And I haven't paid attention to my feed on social media lately, but since we're doing the podcast. We've been busy. And since we're doing the podcast, I've been making an effort to follow and look at these people.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, like, a lot of these guys, these guys are starting to lose a lot of muscle. And the pictures are evident. I don't think they see it because when you're in a state of deprivation, you don't see it. And I see skinny arms, just an unhealthy, sunken in look. And it's not just dieting, but I'm seeing arms that used to be impressive go down to nothing. I'm seeing frail looking chest. And what I'm seeing in the carnivore guys is a very similar look. Long term, I'm not talking about 1-2 years. I'm talking about over 2 years, is a very similar look you see in vegans.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
You had mentioned that he looked like he had scurvy.
It looks like scurvy. It looks like he's like on a pirate ship and he hasn't eaten except for he's caught a couple fish.
Give that man an orange.
Yeah. And like, it just looks unhealthy. From a look standpoint, I don't care about blood work or anything. I'm going about my perception of the look. And this is something we thoroughly discussed if we should do a video on this, but I think it's our duty to tell people that, hey, wait a second. I understand there's a lot of good data on meat being healthy. Meat is awesome. I will die on the hill saying that while you don't have to eat meat to survive, the vegans, they're not dying, but they're not optimal.
I mean, what is that? The new study, you can pretty much eat an unlimited amount of protein.
Oh, God. I mean,
and just not gain weight on it.
Protein is amazing. Protein literally does not store as fat when eaten in excess. It's crazy. But I'm talking about a meat-only diet.
Yes.
I'm talking about an animal-based only diet. And I'm a guy who loves his meat, I love my meat, I'm a guy who cooks more chicken, steak, and fish and eats eggs in the morning and does all that. And I'm just going to be realistic. And I would love for the carnivore diet be the end all be all. And again, my stance has always been that your body should have a variety of foods. You don't need grains, you don't need breads, but I do believe your body does well with fruits, with berries, with other plant-based materials other than all meat. Can you survive on all meat? Absolutely. Same way you can survive as a vegan. But I'm not looking to survive. I'm looking to thrive, bro.
Optimization.
Exactly. So if you're looking to be the best you can and stick to it, there's no reason to avoid carbohydrate. At the end of the day, here's what I think it comes down to. It comes down to having adequate protein, 1 gram or more, now that I read more data, or more of protein per pound of body weight. About 0.5 grams of fat, and then you can fill in the rest with carbohydrate. And if you want, you could do what I do, and that's you center your carbohydrate around training, where you have pre, intra, and post-workout carbs, because that's when your body utilizes glucose the most. But let's be real here. Well, glucose is shitty energy, and fat's like jet fuel. No, that's not how it works. Here's how it works. Here's what your body likes, okay? This is a simple scientific explanation of what your body likes. If you give your body 3 nutrients, protein, fat, and carbohydrate, aka glucose. 100% of the time, your body's going after glucose first. So if you tell me that glucose is not the body's preferred energy source, why is your body going after glucose first? If you give your body too much protein, what does it do? It converts it to carbohydrate via gluconeogenesis. Carbs. Your body's glucose. Like, shit, this probably have too much protein. I'm going to convert it to what I really want, carbs. But if you deprive your body of protein and carbohydrate, your body's like, shit, I got some fat here. Let me convert these to ketones. So you can go over all this whole hunter. You know what people ate? You know what the cavemen ate? Whatever the fuck they could find. Now, animal meat is extremely nutrient dense. Whereas plant food, there's a reason why gorillas eat 75% of their life. It's extremely calorically it's not calorically dense like meat. So my argument with anybody is, why the fuck are we arguing? And the reason being is we're all trying to sell books.
Trying to sell books, trying to be the guy or the girl to find that magic pill, so to speak, magic pill. The magic diet that works for everyone, that is the way it's going to revolutionize. We're not going to have any more fat people on the entire planet ever. Guess what? It's already been found, and it's called balance and not being a fucking dick and eating every 2 seconds.
That's one way of putting it. I was being much nicer than you. I think the main variable, the main thing you need to count is the fact that when you go extreme, whether it's carnivore, and I'm saying keto, I'm not even putting keto in the same breath. Keto is actually pretty balanced. They eat vegetables. They allow some carbohydrate for berries. They get plenty of fat, and they get protein. Is it enough protein to get ketogenic? Not really.
Keto, I do understand more, because it is more balanced, and they just, if keto works for you and your body can run on more fat, those are the people that are going to stick with keto. And sure, they're going to be a little bit preachy about it, but it works for them.
Yeah. I'm all for keto. I'm not against keto. But what I am worried about, and this is why I'm throwing this cautionary tale in the wind, is carnivore works for the first few months because it is an elimination diet. So if you have any food allergies, which a lot of people do, carnivore diet gives you just what you need. And there is plenty of nutrients in beef alone. If you just ate ribeye steak all day, you'd survive and you'd do very well. However, over the course of years and months and whatever, I do believe missing out on your vitamin C, missing out on all the phytonutrients and all the beautiful things, we don't even quite know everything that's in plant foods that you're missing out. And fiber. Fiber is good.
Fiber's great.
Yeah.
I'd really not like to just have a waterfall out my ass.
It's actually, I mean, it was kind of easy because you don't have to push. It's just like it comes out and then it comes out some more. And then, so I think if you are looking at the carnivore diet, and I used to say I hate short-term diets, but if you want to do a short-term diet to maybe give your body a rest or maybe, do a reset or whatever, I don't believe in those, but if that's something you want to do, a lot of people go, hey, I did carnivore for 2 months. I lost 80 pounds. Well, you cut out all the yummy foods, man. You cut out all the chips.
You're not eating cake anymore.
Of course, when people go from eating normal, the standard American diet, they're going to get great results no matter what they do.
That's true.
So my whole thing is, okay, great. You can do the carnivore diet. I'm not saying you could do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care what you eat. It's still, for the record, it is still better than the standard American diet.
Yes.
Still better than most people eat, 100%. But to think that you're doing your health any favors by cutting out fruits, vegetables, and even healthy grains and some plant products, I think you're out of your damn mind. And the argument, well, the oxalates from the vegetables, they block the nutrients. To an extent, yeah, but I'm not going to say that every time. If you eat broccoli or you eat, your plasma levels of the vitamins contained in broccoli go up. Yes. It's not blocking everything. And, you had a good battle between Lane Norton and Baker. It was funny. And I side more with Lane. Lane's a little, I think I side with Lane quite considerably. Lane Norton, he was actually our first employee at Salvation, believe it or not. But Lane's a great guy. He's a little too extreme for me on the flexible side. But again, like I agree more with Lane. Lane's more of a balanced kind of guy than anybody in the industry.
The reason things like this come up, though, are because there are those extreme personalities. You know, in flexible dieting, or IFYM, I guess kind of first became an internet term. It was like a hardcore thing. It's like, well, you're not eating chicken and broccoli anymore. What the fuck? You can eat a Pop-Tart?
It's the foot job of dieting.
It's the foot job of dieting.
IFYM blew my mind because it's what we've all been doing from all along.
Pretty much.
Like, it's like, oh man, I've eaten good all day. Fuck, I can eat a Pop-Tart now. You know, it's like I've been good all week. I guess it's time to go Chinese food.
Growing up in my house, we had the term sweet snack, and you would get like one a week, and it's like, great, can't wait for those Chips Ahoy. But like leading up to that, we're eating home cooked meals going towards it. And, you know, it's like, yeah, of course, at the end of the week, you can fit a cookie in your diet. Mm-hmm. Most people don't want to look like, you know, Mr. Olympia.
No, nobody will.
No, well, no, definitely not. Yeah. But even like most people don't want to be as shredded as you are year round.
I don't want to be as shredded.
Your metabolism is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get a little fat.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like,
I get it.
Flexibility is there.
Yeah. Oh, no, it absolutely is. So, again, we had to kind of name names because there has to be someone to look at, or else like, who the fuck's he talking about? Yeah. But I want you to just look at it objectively and look at it as if we're wrong. And
if you think we're wrong and you say, I want to look like this guy, then by all means, do what you do.
And we're not saying we look great at all.
I definitely don't.
We're just saying they're looking worse. And I think it's diet related, and it's definitely not a healthy look. Saggy skin, everything's just coming out weird. And I think if you were to add some carbohydrate, imagine if they filled out. It looks so different.
Yeah.
But, you know, thank you guys. This is a shorter one. We'll have more guests. We'll do these throughout the week. We have more guests coming soon. We'll let you know who they are. But anyway, thanks for watching. Alongside Matt Marano, it's the GainzCast. See you next time.